Today we're going to be reviewing and showing how to play one of our favorite games that we sit down and it's one of our go-tos, Azul. It's a quick game for 2 to 4 players. It plays great as a 2-player game, even better as a 3-4 player game. You got these little tiles, you got these boards, you got everything. Be ready for some fun action. Board setup. For 2-player game, you're going to have 5 of these little round things. It's very technical. On the board, 4 chips go onto each of those, and the first player token goes in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. Pick the first player, and this is how a turn goes. Essentially, you have to take tiles from somewhere on the board. You have to take all of the same color tiles. So I'm going to take these 3 tiles here. I can't take 2 of them. I can't take the yellow one with it. I have to take all of the blue ones that come from this section. When you take tiles from a little tray, all the tiles that you didn't take end up in the middle. Then later, when somebody's taking tiles, they can take all tiles from the middle, or they can take tiles from one of these sections. And essentially you just keep taking tiles until all the tiles are gone. The first player who takes tiles from the center also takes the little first player token. That first player token goes into the first negative slot, and that's the player who on the next round is going to go first. And we'll talk about putting tiles in and... All right, when you take tiles from a board, you have to place them on this side of the board. So essentially what you're going to be doing is as you fill these, you're going to be moving them over to the correct color on this side. But you can only do that if it's full after a round is done. If it's not full, say I end with 3 of these here and there's still 1 blank, this stays on the board until the next round, and it will stay here until I can actually move them over. In this particular case, I'm going to take them and I'm going to move them all into one section. Now, when you're moving tiles onto your board, you cannot split them up. I cannot put 2 here and 1 here. They all have to be placed on one section of the board. If at any time you have too many tiles for where you want to place them, the rest of the tiles have to go into the negative board down here. And as you stack them up, you get more and more negative points, and the negative points kind of get bigger and bigger as you go. So you want to avoid negative points, but sometimes it's not really possible to. After the tiles have already all been taken, this is how the board looks at the end of the first round. Any line that is full gets moved over and points are scored. And essentially points are scored in a simple way. As you move it over, you count the number of tiles that are connected to it up and down, and you score that many points. This is by itself, so it scores 1 point. This is by itself, so it scores 1 point. This here is connected here, so it scores 2 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I score 4 points for this particular round. And these don't score at all, they just stay here since they're not completed. But I also get a -1 point because I got the first player tile here, and that scores -1. So I get 3 points for that round.
Now I'm going to score my tiles. So because this one's full, 1. This one goes over here. That would be 2. Well, 1, 2. This one is 3. These go back in the draw bag eventually. This one is going to stay here. So I get 3 points total.
Okay, now we're done with the second round. This is how my board looks. You can see I filled up almost everything. I didn't get the top one, but as I move this over, I score 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I didn't score any extra points. All of these go back into the draw pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I move my point tracker up.
Okay, so end of round 2, I'm going to score my board. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not complete. 6. So these will go here, these will go here. That one stays. -1, so I get 5 points total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, at the end of the first round where all the chips were used, this is where we're at. I'm at about 33 points, and you can see how I've built everything here. And I'm going to have, for scoring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And as a note for scoring, you always go top to bottom. You score the top ones to the bottom ones for how they score. That's 20 minus 1 point. And this is 20 things, so I go down and over 1. And then Tanya will finish scoring. And then we will
Yay!
finish the game.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Wow. 25, 26. I couldn't finish my blue row. Minus 2 gives me 24. And you said that's a 20. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, now what we have to do is do the final scoring where you count up the number of columns and rows. You get extra points for those.
But wait,
if you finished any colors, you get bonuses for those
talk
as well.
about how the game ends? Why is the game ending?
The game ends, well, obviously. The game ends when one player has finished one of their columns.
Did you finish a column?
I did not finish a column.
Horizontal. So if you look at my board, I have 2 horizontal rows, which means it is done.
All right, then for final scoring, the number of columns and rows that you completed gives you bonus points, and if you completed a specific color, it gives you points. So for your columns, you get plus 7 points for each finished column. For your rows, you get plus 2 points for each row, and then if you have all of one color, you get 10 points for each set of colors that you have. So in my particular case, I have 2 columns here finished, so that's 14 points. And I have one of all of these, so 14, that's 24 bonus points on my side. In this particular game, I got 76 points. She got 76 points, so we happen to have tied.
Yeah!
Yay!
Yay!
I'm actually the winner.
Always, because I'm your wife. Oh!